Hello and welcome to ROCKSTAR Manager. I'm Dr. K, the management professor, and this episode is about organizational stress, wellness programs, and the different properties of emotions. First, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button down below and also hit the notifications button so you'll see each time I post a new video. This video is about the adverse effects of organizational stress and how to overcome them. If you're alive, you will experience stress. It's just a part of life. Hopefully this video will help you know what causes stress and ways to develop wellness programs to minimize and or alleviate stress wherever possible. It's fair to assume that there's an adverse relationship between stress and performance, meaning the greater the stress, the worse you perform at work. While this isn't true for 100% of the workforce, it is important to learn how to manage it. For those who thrive in a high-stress environment and regularly rise to the occasion, they should be aware of others and how they may feel, especially for those in management. Those who do thrive in high-stress environments are often experts in what they do and very confident in their ability to be successful. Additionally, they may be high sensation seekers by nature. But again, most people are the opposite. Did you know there's something called desk rage? This is where an employee is simply working at his or her desk, experiences a stressful encounter or tipping point, and lashes out. Yes, it's just like road rage, but it's desk rage, and it's a real thing. That said, stress has a strong correlation to your personal health. Some medical experts believe that it's linked to 50 to 70% of most physical illnesses. As a manager, you should note that women and men each respond differently to stress. There are 3 different types of stressors: acute stressors, episodic stressors, and chronic stressors. Acute stressors are immediate and bring on a sudden change. You have a physical or psychological reaction, or sometimes it's both, and there's often an unwanted adjustment that you have to make as a result. Episodic stressors are the result of a number of acute stressors in a short period of time. A good example is when you're having a bad day. It wasn't just one event that wasn't unpleasant or an unexpected surprise that you didn't appreciate, but a series of them that caused you to make unwanted adjustments to overcome those hurdles. Examples of episodic stressors at work include lack of involvement with peers, office politics or conflict, unreasonable expectations, and or the constant threat of job loss or even spending time away from home. Maintaining emotional wellness is vital to our lives. We only get one life, so the more we can properly maintain it, the better it will be. Let's talk about the properties of emotions. Gerald Greenberg said that emotions are overt reactions that express feelings about events. You might feel sad when a relationship ends, but in contrast, you are excited and hopeful when a new one begins. If your boss leaves, you might feel anxious about who will take over that role. And if someone steals your lunch, you might likely get mad. The common denominator here is that there's a trigger. For you to feel a different emotion, something happens. It might be an event that you see, personally experience, or hear about in a conversation. Or it could be how someone treats you proactively or reactively. You know how successful people always want to know the 5 primary people you surround yourself with in your life? It's because emotions are contagious. More formally, this is known as emotional contagion. At work and in life, not only do we absorb the emotions of a person who ranks higher than us, but we also absorb the emotions of people with whom we associate with, regardless of how frequently we interact with them. For example, if someone tests positive for being negative, and you're always hearing about the woes of life, you'll start to see more negative in your own life that never bothered you before. More excitingly, if you're hanging around people who are excited about their roles, how they can add value, enjoy their work, you will likely get more motivated about your own work and focus on how you can contribute in a more meaningful manner. Human emotions are universal. When you're happy, you smile. When you're hurt, you cry. That's the same in every culture. Regardless of where you are in the world, human facial expressions are the same. The one thing culture does determine, however, is the manner in which people express their emotions. These are known as display rules. These are essentially cultural norms. And for example, Italians are very passionate people, and it's expressed in their emotions. Conversely, citizens of Great Britain tone down their emotional displays. In 2008, Matsumoto and others conducted a study of more than 5,000 people in 32 different nations. They discovered the top 7 most expressive countries in order were Zimbabwe, Canada, the United States, Australia, Nigeria, Denmark, and lastly, New Zealand. The 7 least expressive countries in order were Hong Kong, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Russia, Israel. Both Malaysia and Switzerland were tied for 6th, and South Korea was number 7. A few other terms to know before we close: self-conscious emotions, social emotions, and the circumplex model of affect. Self-conscious emotions refer to feelings that stem from within, such as embarrassment, shame, or pride. Social emotions refer to people's feelings based on information external to themselves, such as jealousy, envy, or pity. The circumplex model of affect involves 2 different dimensions. The first is the degree to which emotions are pleasant or unpleasant, and the second is the degree to which they make one feel alert and engaged, which is also recognized as activation. Hopefully you have a better understanding of organizational stress, wellness programs, and the different properties of emotions. If you're interested in learning more about related managerial topics, check out my books, including ROCKSTAR Manager from Theory to Practice, Mindset or Research-Based Approach to Understanding Motivation, Be Your Best You, the Ultimate Research-Based Guide to Outstanding Leadership, or Build a Rockstar Business from Ideation to Inception in 120 Minutes. Or you can read Greenberg's Behavior in Organizations. Thanks for your time. Be your best you and be a rockstar manager.